Cambiamos al micrófono regular. Entrecortando, pero se escucha por lo menos. Eso no está broadcasting. Así sí. Regular se escucha. ¿Qué pasa? Porque se está entrecortando. Estoy muy lejos del micrófono. Probando, probando, probando. Hay algo que está entrecortando el audio. Bueno. Voy a cerrar el programa a ver si eso lo arregla. Cerrado. A ver si mejoró algo. Pienso que no sea la conexión o algo porque... Ahora se está escuchando mejor, yo creo. Ahora se escucha corrido. Eso último que dije lo escuché todo de corrido. Creo que es el programa. Algo en el programa. Parece que la computadora no aguanta el programa más el streaming adicional. No, tendré que entonces después ver la manera de cómo hacerlo todo correr. Vamos para el New Game. Story normal o hard. Vámonos normal, como siempre. Ay. Somos vampiros, vampiros de la noche. Vampiros sin ningún reproche. Somos vampiros, vampiros. Algo así, algo así. Yeah. Yeah. El alambrito, ¿cómo estamos, Alan? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos, Alan? Parece que es el internet que está mal. Este es el gato. Conecta y reconecta el gato ahora, hoy. Qué dramático. ¿Es todavía juego? Todavía. Ah, sigue corriendo. Arreglar esto rapidito. Creo que si la waifu no se escucha como quiero que se escuche, cambio mi avatar regular. Cambio la avatar también. Hace tiempo que el gato no se portaba mal. Ahora se debe de ver bien. Oh. Ok, thank you. Venga, espera un momentito. Dame un segundo. Estoy donde estoy. Ah, no me veo, no me veo. Aquí. Regresamos rapidito. Un rápido cambio de atuendo. Outfit change. De verdad que pensé que se iba a escuchar, pero no funciona como planificado. Cosas que pasan. Ok, regresamos a la normalidad. Ahora tengo que cambiar el título del stream porque no son las waifu. Jeje. Vamos a update a todo. Ahora sí. Creo que estamos mejor. Puedo usar el programa como el día. A ver si hacemos liviano. Sí, a la mujer de la ardilla no pesa tanto. Con la ardilla es más livianita. Maybe si hay algo que se pudiese integrar directo a OBS. Si no fuera un programa para pasarlo por otro, para pasarlo por otro. Hay que ver. El personaje parece que está borracho. Sangre en el piso. Maldito alcohólico. Seguimos la sangre. Ahí hay alguien, ahí hay alguien.
So thirsty.
Lo sé. Listo. ¿Me reconoció? Me parece que me reconoce. Ah, bueno. Oh. ¿Se arregla el audio? La hermana.
What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no. Mary! Hold on. Please, hold on.
La hermana.
Mary.
¿Qué?
No. No.
Mary. No. Nos murió Mary. Merry Christmas. Es una pesadilla. ¿Qué he hecho? Maté a mi hermano.
No! Please, a moment, let me explain.
Anda pa'l carajo.
These patrols are after me. No! No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare.
No parece tener peso
I need to
mientras
get out of
corre.
here.
No parece tener peso.
This can't be happening. No! Please, stop! I mean you no harm.
No, no me dispare.
What's going on?
Tengo que
Oh,
correr.
Mary. What have I
Mary,
done?
¿qué he hecho?
What's all this about?
Cuchillo.
Shit, where'd it go? Now, I can defend myself.
Ahora me puedo defender.
Kill the thing!
Mátenlo, maten esa cosa.
Who are you?
No sé.
Stay back! Sorry,
Listo.
but you left me no choice.
Mátate, mátalo, mátalo. La sangre, no desperdicies la sangre, imbécil. No puedo ir. Voy a alejar la cámara y aquí brillo más reflejo.
Who are you? Stupid beast!
Eres.
Sorry.
Mate tú.
See them fancy clothes? No, please, stop! That's a light fired! Who are you?
Eres.
There's one of them vermin!
No me digas. Es grave. Está, mira como loco.
What do you want?
Oh my god. Que Elixirs no me gusta. Creo que es algo que mejora después con el tiempo en el juego porque está grave.
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech!
Jaja, es un leech. No paga 5 pesos al mes.
I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me.
Tampoco puedo salir al suelo.
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone.
No, me reducen la vida máxima. Nada se rompe.
I need to find somewhere to hide.
No, porque está roto.
It's locked, all right. Let me go!
Y go.
I need to find shelter.
Me recuerda como que juegos viejos de PC. Keep out, perfecto. Mismo vamos, no entra.
Is anybody there?
¿Alguien ahí?
What is this place?
¿Es este lugar? ¿Dónde carajos estoy?
The place seems
Sí, abandonado parece. ¡Hola,
I should
Alan!
be safe enough here.
¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos? Ajá, tengo una barba épica. Maté a mi hermana. No.
What have you done?
¿Qué has hecho?
Mary!
Mary. Crisma.
Mary! Mary,
Lo siento.
I'm sorry. Whoever did
¿Quién
this
nos
to
hizo
us,
esto? Encontraré.
I will find them.
Oh, tengo 5 shillings. Fire and Sun new collectible. What? Ah, debilidades de los vampiros. La puerta que abre.
I can almost feel the sun's rays like a physical weight pressing against the wood.
Ok, me gusta la voz de narración. Hace sonar bien Legacy of Kain. Woohoo. Aquí tratando Vampyr, que lo regalaron en los juegos del PlayStation de esta vez. Ver algo de terror, ya que está cerca el 31 de octubre. Jueguitos de terror.
Wait, this one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets.
Hay varios juegos de terror que no he jugado.
I've still a rent to pay.
Eh,
He's got no more responsibilities.
a ver cuáles serían buenos para stream.
What's this? Go watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings.
No me gusta que las memorias de los personajes no se mueven. Quieren los trabajos de animación a mitad.
That's impossible.
Aquí. ¿Ya habías tratado este juego, Alan, de casualidad? Un espejo que nos refleja, no porque soy vampiro. 12 sueños de la reina roja duermen debajo de la corona de piedra.
Who goes there? Who's there? Are you referring to me?
Alguien me atacó y me convirtió en vampiro.
No! No!
Pero no sé quién fue.
I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
La gente ha hablado bien de este juego. Me imagino que mejora con el tiempo, pero hasta ahora no me impresiona. Oh, alguien se mató. ¿Cuál es el revólver que necesita arma? No. Kirito el revólver.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now.
El mueve salió
This time, I can save him.
por $8 parte 1 y 2. What?
That's the enemy coming. The orders are to evacuate the
¿Tan,
hospital.
tan barato las dos partes? Eso es una ganga.
He'll live.
¡Ah!
And now what?
Dale con la
We
mesa.
fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than he.
Fucking Sony se los vendió para adelante. Después que consiguieron la licencia y los derechos se los vendieron para adelante a Steam para sacar más chavo. Detalles del revólver. 45 de daño. Cada uno.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all.
Hace sentido. En lo absoluto.
It's a nightmare.
La pesadilla. Es todo.
So be it.
Y así se. Ya tiene el mismo. Ok, game over, se acabó el juego. Espero lo hayan disfrutado.
Rational thinking only.
Ya viste la colaboración de Rogue. Colaboración de Rogue. Ah, se pegó un tiro, se mató. Bueno. Ya empezó el juego, pensé que había terminado. ¿Te refieres a lo de Doctor Disrespect que estaba haciendo la tabla? Ya se la habían terminado en el Coliseo, en el Champions Club. Oh, no se mata.
This is absolute madness. I've lost
El doctor llevaba un montón de tiempo posteando desde que les había dado la idea al equipo de Rock Company y ellos habían dicho que sí. Pero no sé en qué quedó, si ya salió o está por salir. Puede evolucionar. Habilidad, ¿y ahora qué? Oh, porque otras habilidades. Aggressive. Garra. Was Spear made of blood. Shadow Mist. Una bomba. Bomba, lanza o garra. Pon la garra para poder atacar de lejos. Lanza, la lanza. Tabla y cosmético. Pero como siempre mucho más. Y es algo que me ha desanimado demasiado de Rock Company. Lo quieren vender todo demasiado caro. Es ridículo. Te debería si me vendes cosas a $1 o $2, pero 5, 15, 20 es ridículo. En realidad me ha desanimado por completo. Aumentar la vida, aumentar la estamina, la sangre. La sangre, pero Fight. Damage. 10 de experiencia solamente. Todo esto gasta mucho más. No puedo hacer más nada. Esta gente está demasiado greedy. Demasiado greedy. Ay.
That voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made...
El Banco del Norte.
me. What I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
¿Está por acá? Es afuera. Llevaron la que estaba muerta aquí y la arrastraron.
Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Llevaron el cuerpo que estaba ahí.
Here's the leech. Here!
Oh, teleport. Oh, esa parte me gusta.
My head's spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
It's locked.
Clever fucking beast.
Esta arma con el triángulo.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
Oh. Son. Ok. Si los paraliza, entonces los puedo morder.
Die, vermin!
Anda por carajo. Cómetelo, cómetelo.
The strength. The strength I never knew I had.
Look alive there! It's onto us! We have to stop it!
Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire.
Ahí está, cómetelo, cómetelo. Esto mejora el combate.
I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Ven. No. Carajo. Cómetelo, cómetelo, cómetelo.
My strength. My reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
No, no soy humano. Pero no importa porque soy la Vampyr, digo, el Vampyr. Es diferente, muy diferente. La cámara está bien cerca de... Creo que no me agrada mucho.
If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us.
Ah, tenía dinero. More shillings.
It's
More
locked, all
shillings.
right. I cannot enter.
Poquito más de eso.
Dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. It's locked.
Todo está cerrado. Todo el de puerta
I
cerrado.
cannot enter.
Close door simulator. Ajá. ¿Qué de sangre? Está diciendo Assassin's
What
Creed.
will London have to say to me?
Assassin's Creed. De sangre.
So many questions unanswered.
Mano, la voz de él me recuerda a alguien. Lo de la serie de Legacy of King.
Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum?
¿Es de dónde se ha convertido en un mausoleo? Otro cuerpo más. Pedrito, no me digas que eres tu
Man has
Pedrito.
been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it.
Drenado toda la sangre, pero todavía está por ahí.
Follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my
El rastro de
safe.
sangre.
Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
Para esconderme. Oh, abre. ¿Vas a robarle aquí? Oh, puedo crear cosas. Para fatiga, para anemia, para sepsis. Entonces me dice. Reciclable. Vamos. Vamos. He conseguido experiencia para el personaje. Otros experiencia puedo mejorar alguna cosa. No de sangre. La capacidad de sangre. Vamos a subir. Confirmamos. Voy a sacar un nuevo expansion para 2.0. Van a poner ¿qué trae? ¿Qué trae? Llega está con aniversario. Todavía ofertas en 5. Oh, nice. Pregunto qué más tendrán en oferta. Eso explicaría también que Shenmue originalmente era de ellos.
That's strange. The trail is very erratic, as if the killer was drunk or hesitant. At last, a little life.
Vamos al pub. Habla con los locales.
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Diga usted.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's
Aún
whale
así,
just
la
spat you
oferta
out
de
of hell. Can I get you a drink?
le ganó
No,
a
thank
la
you.
que hubo previa.
I'm not.
22.50 actual
Well,
versus
grab a chair
22.
and get
Está
some
cara.
rest. This is going to be another long night.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. I wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid
Under
for the
expansion.
entire week.
10% off. Repurchase. Solo 99 centavos. Wow. Y eso no es ninguna oferta.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And, sir,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable
Está
establishment.
en el segundo piso, primera habitación. Nuevo hospital es centro de cinematografía. What? Ah, me imagino que tendrán enfermedades de película. Es así.
It's locked, all right.
Está interesante ver que salen.
Good evening, sir.
Ya pegaste.
I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Después te enseño aquí. Okay,
Seen
thank
that.
you.
Don't worry, things can only get worse.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient
Todo el mundo
answer.
tiene miedo a estar afuera por lo de los asesinatos.
You murdered someone. Blame the sewer dog, eh?
Las culpas al perro de las alcantarillas. Así le llaman al asesino.
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own.
Lo de Shenmue me molestó.
We can all be monsters.
Sí, pero eso es una de esas cosas que no hay manera de saber.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last
Este es algo que pasa mucho en las super ofertas que ellos tiran.
This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Dejo con tu botella. Tachón.
I hope I live long enough to see. Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know.
Ese es.
Maybe you could
teléfono.
just talk to me.
Yo
Maybe
tampoco.
you prefer
Pero como ahora
to
están
speak
tratando de
with
sacar
Tony.
dinero de todas partes.
He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
¿Hay más juegos de ellos en Steam?
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
What's going on around here? Where is
Está
everyone?
Too many dead, sir.
esperado
First
la
the
pusieron en
epidemic. Now
la
these terrible
categoría
murders.
free to play. What? A rayo, ese nivel.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen
Ah, la
the
gripe
last of it.
española.
Dozens dying every
La
week.
gente
Are
muriendo.
the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
No es el perro de la alcantarilla.
What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, a turquoise turk.
La tortuga
I'm the
turquesa.
barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where
¿Dónde
is
están todas las
everybody?
personas?
Most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
Todo el mundo está durmiendo, es la excusa. Adiós.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
Estaría así. Not cuadri. Quiero matar
Are they stupid or something?
gente inocente.
Prewen has several patrols roaming the area,
They do not pursue me.
but they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require
I think someone
Venga, saben que estoy ahí.
you, sir. You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you? I mean, you know.
Demonio.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word.
El crucifijo hacen daño.
Anyone.
Sería para sentarse.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
Madre foca. Aparentemente había adquirido la tercera parte y no me acordaba. Pues. Oh. Ah, pues bien. Pues los tienes entonces.
And who?
Edgar Swansea.
Who might you be?
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Para ti, para atrás, ¿quién es
Sir,
quién?
you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
Los registrados, la primera parte. Ya compré lo que no era. Ah, que compraste el tercero en vez de los primeros dos. Holy shit. Pero tú dices en Steam, chequeate en PlayStation si no compraste en PlayStation.
I've been hunted down in the streets and
Lo
attacked.
estoy viendo. Oh,
I'm a victim here too.
ahora estoy confundido.
I
Pero para mí que tú me hayas dicho que habías comprado el 1 y el
Then
2.
if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may, if you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Está sospechoso. Seis.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what
That's
I'm
anything.
looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any
¿Encontrar ese
better than
monstruo?
I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
Matarlo. Primero, respuesta antes de matarlo.
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
It's
No.
locked.
Todo está cerrado. Interrogar los locales.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Alguien está mintiendo.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me
Evening,
alarm.
sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The
La
truth.
verdad.
What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Que tienes
Why are
miedo.
you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Enfermo, contagioso.
What
Algo
happened?
estaba raro con él.
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. His face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Terrible, terrible.
Tell me about this, William.
Dime sobre William.
Will was a sailor who worked in a
Marinero.
canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really.
Hey,
He's
Will,
never
what's up?
been violent. Until
Stopping
tonight.
by?
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Ten hints. Oh, ¿tenemos algo? Black body, speed will earn on the citizen. amount of it. Earth going live. For one. Oh, thank you so much. I'll make sure I tab him as soon as he goes live. Thanks, Workflow, for letting me know. And thank you guys for stopping by, for helping out. Make sure. Okay, I have him open. I have him tabbed. Always on the tabs. Yeah. They lurk. Up DSG. Woo! Oh my god, the on fire! Woo! Thank you so much. The double on fire. Thank you so much for 1,000 mana. Woo! Just playing a little Vampyr. Trying it out. It started a little slow and not that great, but it's getting better. How you been? How you been? Where's Tom? Where's Tom?
Hello, sir.
Get off work.
May I
We start.
again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
And workflow. Oh! And welcome home! Hope you had a nice day. You had the same long shift that he had? You guys must be dead tired. Alright.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
8 hours start, 12 and 14. Let him take the extra hours.
Welcome
Stick
back.
to the regular shift.
Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I
Tracy then comes home
have.
and
Are you
streams.
sure
Yeah.
no one else came
I don't know
into
how
your
he
bar
does it.
before I arrived.
That man's a
Told you
trooper.
You were the only other stranger I've had.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Not my friend anymore. Why lie to me?
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Need to find her.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
400th finest. What's
He's up
up?
at North Pier.
Stopping
Sleeps
by.
there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a
Some
bad rash
vampire.
and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Pink.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
Where is William? Like the killer. Like the boats.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood.
I'm on the boat.
Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker.
Ah! Borrachín. Oh.
This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
Where? Wounds.
This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim.
Dejaron seco.
What's this? Some sort of note.
Multiple tests in the locate the beast, purge it quickly. Will not purge me.
These men. They're a company of professional vampire hunters.
Ah, not so professional.
There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Upward? Upward, yes. Haha. Feed on your blood. Oh, come on. Maybe, huh? Dead, my friend. Num 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 num. Domino. Oh. Up, up. Good bullet. Ranged weapons. Press triangle to use weapons. Undamaged, but where your ammo is.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Done. Yes. Hahaha. Good gunshot. Eso es. Like it, like it. Juego mejora. Buenas noticias. Done. Roller gun. Hell? Card. Put enemies around, display their enemy card. What I was doing? 4 types of resistance. Okay, range, blood and shallow. Next meter and high resistance. Ah shit. What is here? Target. Sure. Fuck on.
Turn around, sir. Burn it, boys!
Oh. Target, switch target.
Let's pin it down!
Holy shit. Okay. Die.
this nest of them cleaned out?
Different target. Oh,
Best be on your way home.
not that way. Haha! Yes. Much better.
See any of these bastards back here again? Did you hear me?
Oh, I didn't hear you. Get the...
I nightmare screams when you're burning alive.
Done. Demonio. Para.
Keep an eye on each other. We won't see any of these bastards back here again.
Ahora sí.
I nightmare screams when you're burning. Watch this! It's a killer! Deal with this vermin. He's dead! Bloody leech!
Haha. Motherfucker. Oh. Oh well. Think. Practice. That's... you dead now, buddy. Take that. Done. Boom. Yes. Eficiente soy, coño. Hideout. Upgrade. Pink. Pink por aquí. Pink. Upgrade. Let's see. Weapons upgrade. I got melee weapon to knife. Machete. Level 2 machete. Upgrade. Bite, hard biting. Damage. Regeneration. More damage. $80 todavía. Let's do none. Violation. Oh, 600. Oh, 600. Oh, shit. Plus. Not big. Okay, check. Lo dejemos. Ok. Por lo menos no fue tan diferente, tan grande la diferencia, iba a decir. Vamos. Ya estábamos. Following night? Oh. The following night. Check the viewing. Oh. After respawn.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Delicious, delicious pets. Esa era la advertencia al principio del juego. No le hicieron daño a las ratitas. Tú no comes ratitas.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Details. Under weapons. Parry an incoming attack, inflicting some damage if done correctly. Oh, okay. Not interested in under weapons.
We've done it before. I had a drink outside tonight.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
I'm from William Bish.
Oh dear God. William, please stop. Just a sip, I promise. You are my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend. William, my arm. I can't feel it.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William. Carajo, no puede bloquear. Fuck you, Billy. Fuck you. Yes. Fuck you, Billy.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Oh.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well. Another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm
I'm
a
a
doctor.
doctor.
You're suffering from shock.
Doctor.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Freaking William. Oh. Me quedo William. Convirtieron en pincho.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Oh. Badass. Ahora esto me dan ganas de jugar Vampyr the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 cuando salga.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
Qué conveniente, sabía dónde llegar.
Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Analizar la sangre del vampiro. Todos nos vamos. ¡No! ¡Nos fuimos! ¡Ay! El bote tiene reversa. ¡High tech, motherfuckers! ¡High tech!
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... what manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that Skal. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy.
Privada.
Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic.
Epidemia?
The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stone, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science.
Yes, yeah.
A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Doctor y soy vampiro.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital as a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Tengo trabajo en el hospital. Doctor Vampiro.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Cuídalo.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Tenemos cirujano nuevo, el vampiro. Experto en transfusiones de sangre, qué
Here
conveniente.
at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Ahora con el objetivo. Entrar al hospital. Ok. Bastante simple.
We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Voy a entrar al hospital por otro lado. Hay 2 idiotas peleando aquí afuera. Al carajo.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Ok. Calidad de la sangre. Experiencia mejor. Hasta la calidad mejor. uno para mes.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Release. Quite a massive XP. Get worried that there will be. Comérmelo, dejarlo ir. Acaba de matar a alguien, así que se joda. Está cabrón. Ahí está. Dame la experiencia.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
La consecuencia de mis acciones, what?
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Hospital, creo. Por aquí algo parece todo el hospital.
I not want to make wait, Doctor. I have patients to attend. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I
También.
apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Claro.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Está medio
When you
sospechoso.
accepted the job from him, I thought you would have known about your employer.
Ah, ya no me quiere decir. ¿Aceptaste el trabajo? Yo pensé que tú sabías.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Pero díselo a él, no mires a la cámara. Y si está mirando a la cámara cuando dice las cosas.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
En mi oficina está en el segundo nivel.
Another night with the...
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge
Conductor
you.
de la ambulancia.
I'm not sure I
Me
understand
cae bien, me cae
what
bien.
you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for
Pues
you.
dame el arma mejor. ¿Lo tiene? ¿No let's trade?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Ronnie vende. Shotgun. Bala. Shotgun. $196 de damage, ya demonio. Holy shit. El 2 el shotgun. No suena mal. Ah, son 300 shillings, tengo 84. No, no puedo comprar nada. Cómprese un shotgun si no lo puedo comprar. Hay gente en el hospital. Habla con todo el mundo.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this
El
unexpected...
tipo ya sabía de mí, le había dicho a todo el mundo en el hospital, pero él me acaba de conocer.
Blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research.
Está sospechoso.
He is convinced it is the future.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Mira, hay alguien por ahí que no está haciendo las cosas bien.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible
Enemy.
enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Hola, enfermera.
not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals. Most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Fuimos, enfermera, nos fuimos. ¿Alguien más? Daniel. Espera. Está dentro del hospital. Ahí hay un doctor. Sí, pero este es este mismo.
Good evening, sir.
Still standing after this.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University.
Rockefeller University?
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Es convertir en pis. En vampiros no, pero sí me los puedo comer. Y me dan experiencia mientras más sepa de ellos. Pero el problema es que si te vas comiendo todos los NPCs a lo loco, afectas el juego.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Ese afecta gameplay, te lo comes a lo loco. No sé, porque ahorita maté a uno y me dijo que no es la región, sino que esta área del mapa se iba a ver afectada y que iba a ver las consecuencias pronto. Me imagino que la gente empezara a preguntar qué pasó con esta persona o si era una persona importante, pues la pierdes más adelante en el juego.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve. But I must admit, he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Porque él no sale de la oficina.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, until breach.
Supuestamente. Vamos a ver si es verdad o es otro cuento como de Mass Effect que al final pues terminó siendo el mismo, no importa lo que tú escogieras entre tres juegos. No se tiran un Mass Effect.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Ese yo no lo
Some
juego.
are really good.
Me quedo con mi
others are
vampirito mejor.
not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander.
Me quedo con mi
I prefer
vampirito.
to focus on the positive character traits.
Este juego se verá dark, pero por lo menos no da miedito.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Era de nuevo, de la enfermera.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him,
No.
I probably
No
would
quiero.
have left the Pembroke years
No me lo
ago.
quiero imaginar en
Dr.
VR.
Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Es Resident Evil y todavía no lo he jugado en VR.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Another night. Surely I can endure it.
Perhaps I shouldn't consider the offer from that cabin.
¿Para cuándo? No sé, tal vez. Hacerlo de evento de Halloween.
Dr. Swansea is right.
Noche de 31.
Seems perfect to conduct my research.
A ver hasta dónde llego. Que me haga pipi en los pantalones.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening,
Hay
Doctor.
que ponerme un pañal para
I don't
jugar.
think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
Ah, Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position.
O después no se puede dormir.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be
Voy
appreciated.
a poner uno de los pads de perrito.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
No me gusta que todas las caras se ven tan tiesas. Dicen pero el juego no es malo.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
No hacen el movimiento correcto de los labios, ¿sabes? Como si estuviesen hablando todo el tiempo así con la boca estira. Se hubiesen hecho demasiado botox.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
Parece que
Even the
tienen
Black
botox.
Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was
El
worse?
lip syncing está bien, pero el movimiento
What
de
if
los
in the
labios
end,
está mal.
nobody was spared?
Tan trinco.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you
Ah.
are, don't tell me you'll change that.
La gripe española está mala, está matando a todo el mundo. Tienen ni esperanza de que puedan controlar la gripe.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual.
Grumpy?
Especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Oh, oh. Algo pasó con Milton. Algo pasó con...
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
¿De Milton? Había hablado con Milton. ¿Trató bien? Me vende hasta armas. Me vende un shotgun. Milton es mi amigo.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
No sé, confío en ti, Hawkins, yo confío en Milton. Yo me quería vender un shotgun. Milton es un buen amigo. Ah, mira.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Allá. Nada,
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
nada, tú eres la malga. Doctor aquí.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Oh, problemas personales. Problema conmigo.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice.
Aguanta que me contrataron, ¿ah?
Of his position.
Bitch.
But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Cambia ese tono conmigo, no te lo voy a hacer.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Al criado.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Okay.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Nasty.
Will this shit never end?
Paciente.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had
Para que me
professional
no arreglen el
arguments
brazo.
with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Estaba ready para operarlo. No hacer nada, yo lo opero. Rápido.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed.
Strickland.
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor.
Él no me quiere y este está
Thank you.
feliz de tenerme en el hospital.
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Exacto, el conocimiento. El conocimiento que se logran grandes cosas en la vida. Knowledge, motherfuckers!
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
La jodienda máxima.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears.
Pero Aykroyd es un asshole.
Not some
De acuerdo
biological
contigo.
machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Completamente de acuerdo.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Drink. Está contigo. Momentito de la
How long
razón.
must I wait, damn it? Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month?
Peleando.
Yeah. You have the right to disapprove of our methods, and you...
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Murió por culpa de él.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Oh, a lo mejor le fue a llevar comida y un bombardeo alemán la mataron. Por andar trabajando un turno doble. Holy shit. Deprimente.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Deprimente.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you
Holy
later.
shit.
Don't waste your time with me.
I will not let you
Oh,
down.
se llama
I'm quite
como el
busy
cabrón.
right now, Dr. Reed.
Voy a pelear más con. Ah, esa es la mierda.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Espárrago.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer.
Mortimer.
Mortimer Goswick.
Cuidando y no lo están cuidando.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Algo psicológico.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
No quiero hablar, tengo que hablar.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help you, sir?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Pero no debería hablar. Ahora su pelo está shiny. Está reflejando la luz de afuera. ¿Qué carajo le pasa a su pelo? Oh, Dios mío. Preocupa más su pelo que la condición de su hijo.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Hello.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a
De
start.
nuevo, de la
And
ambulancia.
that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Con pipa. Pasó con pipa. Mala pipa.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
No tengo. Fatiga. La fatiga.
I will see you later. I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Recuperar a Mortimer.
Don't waste your time with me.
Vampire Doctor Simulator. Voy a buscar a Pipa o preguntarle por qué le cobraron por la cama. Preguntarle a de la ambulancia porque es un malcriado. ¿Tres Pipa? Pipa Hawkins, esta misma. Pipa. Pipa, te estoy hablando.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Que no me da la información. Deja cuestionarla porque le cobró.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Que no es nada. Está con... ¿Qué estás
Good
molesto?
evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful.
Fucking awful.
We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Investigación.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Punto. Vamos a ayudar a que la gente se quede.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Mediocre.
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Always look on the bright side of the... Personal. No tengo hint. Vamos luego, tengo que averiguar del cuerpo de la persona infectada que dejaste fuera del hospital.
Another night with the glorious battalion.
Enter the backyard garden. El tipo abandonó el cuerpo fuera del hospital. Que le iban a asaltar. Topa la mierda. Fuck this shit, I'm out. En el backyard garden. Ah, mírala. ¿Hay otro médico? I need a doctor.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this mall.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
La casa de empeño. Y trapea con los muertos. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Empeñando las cosas de los muertos.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Ahora tienen miedo a los muertos. Claro que no, si están muertos. ¿Quién le va a tener miedo a los muertos si ya están muertos? Son los undead los que les tienen que tener miedo. Zombies, vampiros. Todos esos tipos de undead. Las momias. Los whites. Los leeches. Todos los undead. Pero los que están ya muertos no. Se quedan ahí en la tumbita.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Milton me ayudó.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
La vida después de la muerte.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Goodbye,
De nada
Mr.
por ahora.
It's locked, all right.
Oh. Adiós para el hospital. La
I
puerta.
cannot enter.
¿Cuántos tienes algo? Books. Money found money for hospital. Hey Nick, saludos, ¿cómo estás? Estamos jugando Vampyr, el médico vampiro. O de decidir ayudar a la gente a comérmela. Nam, 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 nam. ¿Cómo estás? El tipo de la ambulancia es medio truquero. Más o menos, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué más o menos? Otra vez fue con las tareas. Ah, rayos. Contra, no te dejan descansar. ¿Dan break?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
¿Le hicieron la prueba? Espero que no le pase nada, espero que esté bien. La prueba es rápida y positiva. Hay que hacerle la otra. Espero que sea un positivo o falso o algo. Porque la trates rápido, espero que esté bien. Todos los que hayan estado cerca de ella deben de hacerte la prueba también. Si la viste recientemente deberías de hacerte la prueba. No hace nada. Aún así, hay personas que son asintomáticas. Tienes suerte y no le dan ninguno de los síntomas y no pasa nada. Como quieran, las personas alrededor de ella pueden estar en riesgo. Pero de todos modos deberían de hacerle la otra prueba también para estar seguros.
Goodbye, Milton.
La llevaron a aislamiento. Esperé que pase el tiempo y no pase nada. Esperé que cuando le hagan la próxima prueba salga negativa.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Cuando uno está infectado, te separan de la familia, te llevan a otro lado, te dicen la villa. Acá lo hacen completamente diferente. Acá si tú das positivo, tienes que quedar en tu casa, todo tu núcleo familiar se tiene que quedar ahí después que le hagan las pruebas a todos. Pues no se complica nada y no te llevan al hospital, tienen que hacerse la prueba de nuevo y si dan todos negativos. En este caso esperar que regrese bien.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel.
La prima que también
What is it like
afectada.
to be a vampire?
I can hear my
Oh, wow.
body crumble
Siguen
from the
aumentando los
inside as
casos
the
allá.
flesh cracks
Aquí
and fades.
también no ha sido muchas las muertes, pero sí han seguido aumentando los
Within my
casos.
drying veins.
Son detenidos.
I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying,
Holy
that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of it.
También más o menos.
And
Wow.
you think it is I who am delusional.
Creo que por la única razón que aquí no tenemos esos números es porque la isla es tan pequeña. Si era más grande, creo que hubiésemos estado en esos números hasta más altos, porque aquí la gente a veces están a lo loco.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
That's it.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean,
Estaba bajando desde los contagios.
Is that not
El
enough?
día eran de 10,000. Wow,
What do you require?
holy shit, aún así 3,000 diarios son
curious
muchos.
to know who you were before.
Yo pensaba que aquí
No, it's such a
donde
long time
decían,
ago. I
decían
don't
que habían
remember.
80, 100 y pico, eran muchos, pero
Centuries of
wow,
unholy
ya
life
está
can
bien
have
alto.
strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital.
Good evening,
De que a la gente no le
Good evening,
importa.
Dr. Reed.
Sí, me he dado cuenta de eso, pero ha pasado en varios sitios. Aquí hay un grupo de gente que tampoco le importa. En Estados Unidos están los que están en contra de las máscaras también, que tampoco les importa. Que el COVID ya pasó de moda. Los que van a pasar de moda son ellos. Pero lo triste es que entonces mucha gente que no tiene la culpa también se infecta por los imbéciles que no les importa. Hay que protegerse. Si todo el mundo se protegiera y esto hubiese pasado hace rato. Pero por los 2 o 3 que creen que es un chistecito, seguimos y seguimos y seguimos y seguimos y se acaba de ir. De nuevo. Aquí, pico.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
It's here again.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty
La
little
Argentina
mug
está
right off.
por el mismo camino.
They still call me
Venezuela.
Thomas Elwood.
No, tristemente no tengo noticias y las de aquí apenas cubren lo local. ¿Qué está sucediendo por allá? Porque aquí tienen aislados del resto del mundo en cuanto a las noticias. Esto es algo que siempre he odiado de las noticias locales.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect.
Sacando en Latinoamérica.
It's like the flames are under my skin, burning
El problema
away.
es que el COVID ha afectado tantas industrias que está jodiendo todo a nivel mundial.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since
La
the
economía está grave.
doctor spoke to me.
Por más que uno siga buscando empleo, no aparece
Think I was
nada.
forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry.
El desempleo no ayuda.
I've learned it's easy.
El gobierno no ayuda a la gente.
But be
Que
assured
no tienen ni con qué comer. No pueden hacer nada. Está mi abuela de parte de... No venga. ¿Se mude para allá?
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful.
Ojalá que venga para no tener que ir todos los años. Hace que es un viaje menos.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to
Ya
talk
abrieron
about
las
all this
fronteras
shit.
con algunos países.
I was pushing too much. I
Aquí
served
siempre
in
fue un
France
desastre.
myself.
La gente podía entrar y salir como le diera la gana. Dicen que había que hacerse la prueba y no se la hacían. Nadie tenía control de los aeropuertos. Un desastre, en realidad. Bueno, Estados Unidos estaba trayendo los infectados a los hospitales aquí. A ese nivel.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
La actualización de Rocco. No la he visto, pero Alan me estaba hablando de eso. Está hablando de lo de Doctor Disrespect, pero que está todos los cosméticos están carísimos. Doctor Disrespect fue brillante con eso, haciendo que una compañía lo promocione. Para que la gente que hasta que no sabe de él sepan. Yo había visto en Twitter que él había tirado un montón de cosas sobre la tabla del Champions Club y eso, pero no he entrado a Rocco todavía. Desde la última vez que jugamos en stream.
Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire doctor.
Sí, es Vampyr. Está bueno el mapa nuevo.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturne.
Mejoraron algunas cosas. ¿Cómo qué?
Sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps.
But
who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Oh, por fin pusieron eso. Oh, nice. Pero algo que se supone que llegara hace tiempo. Antes de que tiren el paso de batalla, no sé si se lo tiraron ya también.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End, Dobbs?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand. Good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Darle vidas adicionales que te subas la vida por encima del 100% y se tarda en bajar. Porque se manda el doble del tiempo. ¿Qué carajo? Puedes balancear el juego por completo.
Who should I avoid in this part of
Me
town?
imagino que todo el mundo está jugando Shark.
Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men.
La pegué.
And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know.
Ay, jodieron el juego.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the
Hay
cross
gente
around your
jugando
I manage an
en
asylum
latino.
for the
Oh,
poor
por
and
fin.
homeless of the docks. And I try to
Ya no hay
guide
que
the
esperar
lost
5
peasant
minutos
the
por una
right
partida.
path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow.
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Claro, porque casi todos son nuevos. Eres el pro. No abuses, no abuses. Cuando termina la partida, mira los niveles. Convertiste en el Karimi Senpai.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching
Todas las partidas que juego soy el único
to be truly honest,
está en nivel 100.
She left the docks many months ago.
Tú eres el veterano. El veterano con los
How do you
noobs.
feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually.
Además está en menos de 50. Ya, rayos.
So much of my blood in this madness.
Tienes más del doble de nivel.
Empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Todavía soy nivel 4. ¿Llevo qué? 2 horas y media aquí. Siento que llevo por lo menos 1 hora y media en el hospital. Hablando con la gente. Ay, carajo. Tantos pacientes, tantos pacientes. Y no encuentro el jardín. Antes para buscar el partido en Latinoamérica demoraba 5 minutos, ahora 1 minuto máximo. Ah, ok. Está casi como los servidores de Estados Unidos de Norteamérica. Otro jardín. 7 metros. Otro.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Parece un vampiro. Muere, infeliz, muere. Sí, este lo pusieron gratis con el PS Plus junto con un Need for Speed. Y dije, pues déjame ver cómo está. Al principio el personaje se siente inútil y es medio aburrido, pero una vez empiezas a obtener las habilidades de vampiro se vuelve entretenido. Hay que probar esos juegos gratis, La cartera de alguien. ¿Dónde? Oh, otro vampiro. El 6 es más fuerte que yo el condeno. He visto varios que juegan en Play que andan en ese juego. Por eso lo sospechaba. Sí. Es eso. Está de gratis y pues yo dije, bueno, juego de gratis, es octubre. Voy a hacer uno que otros stream de juegos que sean dark o de terror. Ahí estaba Luz preguntándome cuando iba a jugar Resident Evil 7 en stream. El día que estaba considerando tal vez Tal vez para el día del 31. No sé qué piensan ustedes de eso. Hijo de perra. Atacó. Demonio. Que me mata. Estaría bueno. Pues lo único es que ese día, si lo jugaría para que el pánico sea oficial, sería en VR, con el PlayStation VR. En ese caso, no voy a poder leer el chat, o tú me tendría que ayudar con eso. Voy a estar literalmente dentro del juego. Oh, Pipa era la novia de Milton.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
A sacar información. El 31, eso es correcto, la noche del 31. Entiendo que sería, ya que yo empiezo el stream, en las 11 de la noche sería empezarlo el 30 para que el 31 ya esté jugando y jugarlo también de nuevo el 31 en la noche. Sí, sigo con el Genshin Impact, solo que hoy no estoy aquí en stream. Voy por nivel de aventurero 30 o 31 creo. Por ahí más o menos. ¿Ya te aburriste? Es que sigo explorando y sigo encontrando cosas. El juego tiene tantas y tantas cosas. No termino la historia. Alan ya terminó la historia. Alan se comienza el juego. Alan le hizo nom 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 nom.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. It's locked, all right.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead,
El Genshin a mí me tiene hookeado por el simple hecho de que ataque Lady D y quiero seguirle encontrando cosas y haciendo cosas. Y estoy seguro que tan pronto lo añadan en las áreas nuevas y las cosas nuevas que le van a poner, más cosas voy a tener para hacer. Hay que gente puedo putear a gusto. Que hay gente puedo putear a gusto en Rocco. Ese es otro que no voy a abandonar por completo. De vez en cuando voy a hacer Rock Company. Quiero mantener el stream variado. Jugar varios juegos. Drink. La carta.
It's locked.
Pareja de PR en el server de Latinoamérica automáticamente. A veces crecí. ¿Y cómo sabías que eran de acá? ¿Estás aquí?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream.
Hablaban en el chat de voz y se les notaba el acento.
I want more. I want to make things change.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right, but at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents
Me daba risa como
many
decía,
people in need of help.
cabrón, Goku era.
But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Es algo típico de aquí.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
A mierda todos se van del hospital y que se van todos. Es raro encontrar gente de PR jugar en servidores de Latinoamérica siempre, en Norteamérica. Es porque aquí automáticamente por default nos tiran en Norteamérica, así que al menos que las personas no lo cambien, ahí es donde nos tira. Que nos tira al este de Estados Unidos y el ping es mucho más bajo. Pero, me imagino que la gente que quiere jugar con otros y hablar español, pues mejor cambian a Latinoamérica.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway, to remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad.
Pero en Latinoamérica Norte y yo quiero yo del sur. Ah.
Goodbye, Milton.
El problema de los servidores. La pipa. La pipa. Hay servidores en el sur. Por lo regular pasa con los juegos, al menos que el juego no sea exitoso y después vayan poco a poco añadiéndole más y más servidores. A veces empiezan a ser cortos. Pero, si siguen vendiendo cosméticos a $20 y se les venden, te aseguro que ya mismo tiene servidores en el sur. Que parece que Rogue Company está imprimiendo dinero porque cada vez que uno entra al bendito juego hay gente con todos los skins nuevos y todos los cosméticos. No son como Riot, siempre ponen servidores en norte y sur. Eso es la inversión inicial del juego, más probable.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
Una enfermera diciendo que la ciencia no puede competir con... Señora, usted está en el oficio equivocado. Dota, hay un servidor exclusivo en Perú. Hoy es a 5 de ping. Pues ya no juego Dota. Pero ellos sabían dónde tienen mercado y ahí ponen un servidor. Hay que hacer que el mercado crezca en esa región para entonces ellos inviertan en nuevos servidores que el ping sea menor. Pero como usualmente el mercado principal de ellos es el mercado americano, después entonces se van extendiendo Latinoamérica, Europa, Asia.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life.
Por eso ellos invirtieron en los servidores.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
Cada te explotó, por eso hicieron el server exclusivo en Perú. Esto sí, ellos ven que está en la audiencia, tienen los jugadores y pueden sacarle a eso, pues ahí entonces que ellos invierten en los servidores, pero de lo contrario, lo piensan 1000 veces porque los servidores no son baratos.
How can you be affected by the misery around you and be so heartless at the same time? Which is the real you, Nurse Hawkins?
I could ask you the same question, Dr. Reed. Are you more real when you lie to a dying patient, or when you grant him useless medication?
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Ella y el de la ambulancia están extorsionando a los pacientes para quedarse con su dinero porque se van a morir de todos modos y los muertos no necesitan dinero. Wow. Qué cabrones los dos. Y porque la gente está enferma con bendita gripe española. Ah, no, maldita rata.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
El medicamento. Oh, ¿quién es?
Good evening, Miss.
How are you? Está caminando por ahí. No me gusta de los NPCs de este juego. Se quedan en el mismo sitio. A veces te puedes encontrar con ellos sentados y hablarles, a veces están de pie, a veces están caminando por ahí.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Aparte. Oh. La sierra. Este juego no hay acción. ¿De dónde están las almas? Ah, las almas. A ver, tiene el inventario aquí. Entiendo cómo usar el menú. Ahí tenemos el shotgun. Y el arma principal es el machete, ¿no? Gracias. Segueta se mata. Si tengo un hacha. Hacha. Upgrade. Ya está. Estoy verificando todo lo que hay en el hospital antes de salir a matar vampiros por ahí.
I cannot enter.
Mira, esa es mi oficina. Que no tan solo soy un vampiro que mata vampiros, es que también soy un médico, así que tengo que hablar con mis pacientes, diagnosticarlos y poderlos ayudar. Tengo que ir ahora aquí a crear medicamentos.
It's definitely away from prying
Necesito crear medicamentos para la fatiga.
Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own.
A ver.
At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Y para las balas. Esta es la mesa para craftear. Mírala ahí. Ok. Tratamiento para la fatiga. Me faltan dos cosas. Tengo para hacer el tratamiento de la fatiga. Hablando de vampiros, recién me di cuenta la serie del libro Shadowhunters. ¿La serie? ¿Esa serie?
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than the sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Yo tengo que ver que a mí me sale. El problema que me he dado cuenta con Netflix es que acá tampoco puedo ver Titans. Porque parece que está bloqueado. O mi Netflix, en vez que es el de Estados Unidos, un montón de cosas no me salen. Ustedes tienen mejor contenido en Netflix que nosotros. ¿Qué puedo mejorar? ¿Qué puedo mejorar? Ultimate. Para aprender esto. Cambia tu IP. Y eso voy a tener que hacer. Como único lo voy a poder ver. VPN y cambiarlo. Habilidad nueva, bicho. por 30 puntos. Todo bien. También 500 puntos, maldita sea. Ciencia. ¡Oh! ¡Oh, oh, oh, oh! La cantidad de balas que puedo cargar. El poder de la ciencia. Aquí por fin ya está saliendo el sol más seguido. Saliendo el sol más seguido. Estaba viviendo sin sol. El sol nos tortura a diario. Yo quisiera yo vivir un día sin sol. Ok. Mientras más gente tú te comes en un distrito, más baja la salud del distrito. Y si te comes a demasiadas personas, el distrito cae en caos. Antes todo el día era nublado, gris totalmente el cielo. ¡Wow! Para mí suena como el lugar ideal. Yo prefiero los días así. Tal vez soy medio vampiro. La verdad no soy muy fanático de sol. Ok, me comí uno y lo jodí un poco el distrito. Por lo menos no era conocido de nadie. No afectó mucho el distrito. El otro que puedo matar es el de la morgue, que no está conectado a nadie. No afectaría mucho el distrito. Ok. Es bueno saberlo.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? The flower's dying. It needs water.
El medicamento para curar al paciente que tengo en el primer piso. Los últimos días de las 5 y 30 m ya está los rayos del sol a los ojos. Oh Dios mío, yo detesto eso. Yo detesto que el sol me despierte.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
¿La crisis en el hospital?
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead.
¿Hacer antisépticos homemade?
Storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is
la
this
morgue?
morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street.
Para la morgue abandonada.
Thank you, nurse.
¿Qué puede suceder ahí? No puede haber nada malo, ¿verdad? Un lugar donde almacenaban cuerpos muertos, después almacenaban materiales, cerrado por razones de sanidad. ¿Qué puede pasar? ¿Qué es lo peor que puede pasar?
It's locked, all right.
¿Qué es lo peor que puede pasar? puede pasar mucho, ahora tengo un hacha. Puedo defender con el hacha. Que dice la parte de atrás del hospital. Parece que está el edificio. La parte de atrás del edificio. De la serie de The Boys. ¿No? ¿De qué trata? Uy. Vamos a la morgue. Sonidos creepy. ¿Podemos lootear aquí? Mancha de sangre ahí. Tengo eso. No, no es que salgas, es que abres la puerta. Los superhéroes abusan de sus poderes en vez de usarlos para el bien. Los boys se embarcan en la búsqueda para poner secreto. Lo trae en Google. Ah, pero esa idea me gusta. Superhéroes abusando de los superpoderes. Tiene potencial, tiene potencial. Para buscar, me llamó la atención. Ay, caí en otro maldito loading. ¿Sí? No tengo que coger el maldito loading de vuelta. Es una serie de Amazon Video. Ah, no tengo Amazon. Tendré que ver dónde la puedo ver por internet que sea fuera de Amazon. Tristemente no Amazon Prime aquí. Estamos pobres, estamos pobres. Arg. Así la buscaré. Buscaré mi cotorrita y al barco. Y zarparé hasta la serie. Y regresamos a la morgue. Vamos por ahí. Está creepy. Está creepy. Yo pensaba que el juego no iba a ser creepy. Sí lo es. Lo es. Pregunto si habrán jumpscares. ¿Dónde están? ¿Dónde están? Ven, que tengo un hacha. Hacha y tengo un revólver. A ver conmigo. Ajá, pero encontré dinero, bitches. Hay un app del cel donde hay series de casi todas las plataformas. Vamos. B+, descargo la buena esa app. Ok, gracias. Déjame... No sé qué se me va a olvidar. Le puse un pin a ese mensaje arriba para que no se me pierda. Dura por 8 horas ahí. A ver si me acuerdo. Oh, ahí tenemos uno. Ahí tenemos uno. Este se jodió. Cáguese en su madre.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Eso se copiaron de Facebook Gaming. No sabía que Facebook tenía eso. Una de las materias que no sé. Hay por aquí. Oh, veo dinero. Creo que Trovo está consiguiendo las cosas de todas las plataformas y poniéndolas aquí. Facebook también se puede fijar comentarios. Ahí estamos. Ahora aquí también se puede. Otro. Poner reacciones. Oh, ok.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Ya tú sabes, Trovo se está robando lo mejor de todas las plataformas. Pronto lo tendrán todo. ¡Ay, carajo! No te vi, mamá. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Todo me chocan. Feliz. Muere, muere. Ok, esa no me la esperaba. Hijo de perra. ¿Queda alguien más? ¿Queda alguien más? Era su madre.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Creo que me dieron una de las cosas que necesito para el medicamento de aquel. Jodan. No jodan. Van conmigo. Ya los Resident Evil. De sangre. Hay que haber alguien. ¿Cómo? Tenemos que ir al sótano. What the fuck? Ok, por ahí hay un vampiro. Este nivel más alto. Esto no me simpatiza. Maldita sea, hay varios de esos cabrones acá abajo. Cabrón, yo vi que te escondiste por la derecha.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Hijo de perra, muere, muere. Dos balas para el choco. Hay más sangre. Ajá. No te vi, pendejo. No te vi. Fuck you. Come H, infeliz. Shotgun. Hijo de perra. Carajo. Para el shotgun también. ¿Van a matar? Holy shit. La sangre para curarme. Okay. Más tenso que me había puesto el juego hasta ahora. Carajo. Porque está muerto. Y yo. Oh. Con este cuchillo puedo absorber sangre. Fíjate que se me gustó. Oh, Nick's con los on fire. Eso es. On fire, explosion, se quema todo. Bendito humo. On fire. Hey, ¿qué le pasa a ese on fire? ¿No quiere encender? ¿Quiere encender? Falta uno. On fire. Ahora sí, ahora sí. Muchas gracias por los 1500 mana, Nix. Esos triples on fire. Eso, a ti te salen individuales, pero salen a las demás personas les salen acumulados. Como quieren enviarlos uno a uno. Yo sé que me dieron. El offhand. Lo mismo me preguntaba yo cómo se enviaban acumulados, pero es que el juego, digo, el Trovo los acumula en las otras pantallas. Este es el. ¿Palo? Ah, tiene que ser en vez del shotgun, ok.
It's locked, all right.
próximo update de Roco pondrán los ranks. Supone que lo pusieron también junto con el pase de batalla, pero no sé qué ha pasado. A ver cuándo va a ser, pues dijeron que todo eso venía antes de que se acabe el año. Fueron las promesas de ellos. Todo eso viene antes de que se acabe el año. Oh shit. ¿Qué carajo? Oh. Holy shit. ¿Qué carajo es esto? I was not prepared for this shit. Carajo. Carajo es esto. Cabrón, hace sombra, que me atacan. Me mataron. Ya que todavía no, porque en rank aún hay box y desbalances en el juego. Sí, pero tú sabes cómo ellos van a tratar de impulsarlo de una manera o de otra. Maldita sea. Este juego no perdona. Me mataron. La parte más dolorosa es el loading. ¿Qué puedo hacer? 85 de experiencia. No puedo hacer mucho. Tengo que obligarme a matar a los civiles para subir. Ahora no tienen maestría 6, queda demonio. Holy shit. Me está dando pela a Talon. Dejado de monstruos no dan experiencia. Mierda, muere. Me cubre. Después de maestría te... imágenes y marcos para personalizar. ¡Oh! Está chévere. También que sube tan y tan y tan lento los personajes. Como el Spellbreak. Yo encuentro que como que esos personajes en Rogue Company suben demasiado lento. Maestría sí sube lento ya. Esta parte como que no me agradó mucho lo mucho que se tarda. Y fue que entré y el monstruo se me mató. Este cuarto de acá. Este mismo. Creo que tengo que subir a mi vampiro de nivel antes de poder pelear contra Ken. Vamos a mi oficina. Oficina porque aquel vampiro está demasiado fuerte. Y no han anunciado más personajes para Rock Company. ¿Alguno después de Dahlia? Lo más aterrorizante de este juego son los loadings. ¡Ay, qué terror! Creo que se me escapa la vida de las manos. Que se han anunciado algún otro personaje nuevo para Rock Company después de Dahlia. Como no he estado al tanto. Ok. Gracias, señor Rocco. O sea, la verdad. Ok. Hazte Doretica. Telma. Le puedo hacer el medicamento al paciente que está enfermito, a ver si curarlo me suben de nivel. Está mi mesa, mi mesa. Vamos para la mesa, vamos para la mesa. La fatiga. ¡Ah! Quito del hipoclorito de sodio. No. Maldita sea. No hacer nada sin el hipoclorito de sodio. ¿Podré mejorar el machete? Perdón. Siempre me invita para jugar, pero siempre me agarra cuando lo rechaza el juego. Mal que ¿qué pensará de mí? Sí. Te han visto jugar aquí, tienen que saber que tú no siempre estás ahí, porque a mí me ha pasado a cada rato. Te digo lo mismo, probablemente Nix no está. Después cuando aparece te dio la invitación. Que siempre te decía que dejo el juego abierto, pero no estoy en la PC, ¿sí? Ajá. No puedo mejorar eso tampoco. No puedo hacer nada, no puedo mejorar nada.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
La flor necesita agua y no la puedo echar agua. Wow. Vampyr inútil soy. Maldita sea. No puedo ni echarle agua a una planta. De los 400 puntos de experiencia que tengo para algo. Échale sangre. No me deja. Si no ya lo hubiese hecho. Cuenta de vida. Cuenta de endurance para poder seguir atacando. Vamos. Necesito hacer más daño. Necesito hacer esa misión. Vampiro es un vampiro chata, es una leña. Vampiro es manco. Vampiro salió defectuoso. Está en medio. Voy a buscar gente en la calle para matar, necesito víctimas. Doctor. Ya sé. No podré encontrar una víctima, alguien que pueda matar. En estos callejones encuentro a alguien. Mi perro está durmiendo en mi cama. Ahora lo voy a dar una pata. No, no, violencia animal no. Pobre perrito. No la violencia. Una mentira. Violencia contra la gente así, pero contra los animales no. Oh, mira. Este cabroncito aquí. Surprise, motherfucker. Presa, madre foca. Muere, muere, muere. Ahí está. No jodan con. Vampiro llegó a lootearlo. Por aquí. Oh, una carta. Oh, pero que estaban persiguiendo a Thelma. Ok. Ok. Una misión. Saberlo. Vamos allá a decirle a Thelma que ya los que la perseguían están muertos. No tienen que preocuparse. Thelma, ya nadie te persigue. Thelma, ¿dónde estás, Thelma? Por acá. Casi siempre se pasa en el centro del hospital aquí. Thelma. Mírala ahí. Hey, Thelma. Hey. Oh no, a ti no, Thelma.
Mr. Elwood. Evening, Dr. Reed.
Elwood no, la Thelma que estaba al lado tuyo. Me pregunté todo, Yeah.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Thelma. ¿Qué fue, Thelma? Ahora aquí. Thelma. Maté. Se van a joder más, los maté.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Están moridos.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about
¿Qué de verdad sabes de los vampiros?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
Saqué a mi perro con una galleta. Eso siempre funciona. El soborno, especialmente con comida.
No, you are deluded. You think you crave blood, but you have no physical need for it. You have no idea what that is like.
But what am I feeling? It cannot only be in my head. I know my flesh is rotting. I feel it. It disgusts me.
Así que, ¿qué rayo?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Ven. Ven. Probablemente. Está la orden de investigarla.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm.
Ya los maté, Thelma, ya los maté. Ya me tengo que ir, mañana tengo que madrugar. En ese caso que descansa, gracias por pasar por aquí, Nex. Pasen buenas noches. Suerte mañana, que tengan buen día. Cuida. Good night.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me.
I
watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
No. You are deluded. You think you crave blood, but you have no physical need for it. You have no idea what that is like.
But what am I feeling? It cannot only be in my head. I know my flesh is rotting. I feel it. It disgusts
20 minutitos más, a ver, ¿qué pasa con esto? Ay, ¿qué le decir?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
No toda la información de por aquí. Al puente, a ver si hay alguien más que podamos matar. Quiera experiencia y que grind. Spread your own risk. Whitechapel's. ¿En serio? Que entren y me maten. Oh, oh. Una feíto. Nivel 18. Anda la puta madre. Nos vemos. Yo solo nivel 7 y ese nivel 18. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Nope. Y no. Se vaya a otro explorar para allá. Son nivel 18. ¿Qué más encontramos en este distrito sin tener que cruzar allá? Eso no me simpatizo. Oh, otro distrito serio. Gatita. Vamos a comer rata.
This is despicable.
Oh, nivel 14. Demonio. Vamos a lootear a la doña que está aquí. Time out. Ah, no, todo solo un nivel super alto. No solo dejarse unos 10 pasos. Ridículo. Rompe. Pared. Cuarentena. Yo no me dan opciones en este juego. Para subir de nivel. Las opciones son comerme a los ciudadanos, pero yo necesito a los ciudadanos vivos. Los quiero comer. Human. No sé, he dado mil vueltas. Ahí entra la morgue de nuevo. A ver si la podía hacer stun, esa del sótano. La podría matar. En vez de dispararle o darle con el cuchillo. Pero hay que tener cuidado con que te comes a la persona equivocada, te chupaste. Acabó todo. series will grant you the favor. A way to maximize what to about the series. Opinion of the week. Mientras más sabes de la persona, más experiencia entonces te da y lo mata. El problema es eso, matar a alguien que después estabiliza todo. Ahora mismo el único citizen que me podría matar para experiencia es de la morgue y es un merchant. Me quedo sin tiendita si lo mato. Porque no. Quiero quedar sin tiendita. Oh, mira, esto resetean. Puedo salir y entrar y farmearlo. También no. Casi experiencia, feliz. Está pero fuerte. Experiencia. Debería farmearlo para mí, Joden. Perfecto. Investigación, ¿no? No te puedo traquear uno. Cosa de la muerte.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Castigo, aquí. Oh.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Oh, el doctor lo mató. Anestesió mal y trató de arreglarlo después con la operación. Oh, estás en problema, doctor. Metiste las patas. Creo que se me da la experiencia que necesito. Vale con doctor. Por lo menos a salir de aquí. sitio no me gusta. ¿Ven? Gracias. Doctor Tippett, usted y yo tenemos que hablar. Mató a este pobre diablo y después lo escondió ahí abajo y trató de... No fue usted. La autopsia dijo que murió de otra cosa. Fue usted el que lo mató. Tan, tan, tan. Cuarentena, cuarentena. Estar en cuarentena. La cuarentena eterna. Never ending love. Dr. Tippett, you got some explaining. Dr. Tippett.
I have wasted too much energy for so little.
Dr. Tippett. Rights to defend. Nothing. Elma. Mortimer. Dr. Tippett. Ah, explícame esto, doctor.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Mala noticia. Sí.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake.
Ahí está lo medio.
That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
El diagnóstico mal y la dosis fue demasiado fuerte. Quiero que estés trabajando tanto y que descanses, vas a matar a la gente. No.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Wow, qué rara.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that captain. The good fellow.
Rogar a Gwyneth. Enfermera. Llamando a la enfermera again. Llamando a Gwyneth again. Alright.
Good evening, nurse.
Terminamos.
Good evening, Doctor.
Error médico.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
Ya no tenía el derecho.
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision of Dr. Swansea. You can't take matters into your own hands.
I respect Dr. Swansea's authority and management, but he's no idea what happens here on a daily basis. I did what I had to do.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett's is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett's must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Too late, ya sabe. He failed. Vamos a hablar con ella primero.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Yes, me dieron experiencia. Y yo soy el diablo porque me da miedo. No para comprar nada. No. El ridículo iba a hacer la presión de investigación. La base. The local command post of the Guard of Freewind. ¿Lo conseguí? Ay, no joda. No, no joda. Es allá en el área en el área high level. En el área high level. No. Vamos al hospital y ahí nos fuimos. Aquí nos quedamos. Muchas gracias a todos hoy por haber compartido conmigo en esta primera parte de la saga de Vampyr. No me decido todavía si seguimos este o tratamos otros juegos de horror. Love con el on fire. What? Ah, gracias, Luz. 500, güey, no, son más de 500. Son más de 500. Son 1000 mana con el doble on fire. Explosions. Explosions. A veces se me va la mano con el fuego. Muchas gracias por el apoyo, por las explosiones, por el on fire, todo el apoyo aquí en Trovo. Gracias a todos los que sintonizaron en la noche de hoy por dar su apoyo. Nos vemos en la próxima. No sé si seguimos con Vampyr. Vamos a otro juego de terror. Este me está robando la cámara en el medio ahora. Dude. Milton, ¿tú quieres salir en cámara? Ahí está, Milton, te he tirado al chat. Hola Milton. Hola chat. Usted manda saludos, Milton. Vamos. Adiós, Milton. Adiós, chat. Nos vemos mañana. Como siempre digo. Otro botón no se me pierde aquí.